Today we're back with a little bit of a fun one as we're going to be entering the draft with updated rosters and an updated draft class to see how Madden thinks the 2025 NFL draft is going to go. I'll be giving my thoughts on what those teams have for needs, and was it a smart pick? Was it a realistic pick? Was it a steal? Was it a reach? Obviously, the other rounds are going to be a little bit more off as the projections are a little all over the place, but at the same time, we got teams in real life like the Saints, Peyton Turner, a little bit of a reach there that throw things off its access a little bit, but we'll sim the draft, kind of go over it, and we'll end up simming a season and see how those players play on their new teams. We're going to go one by one, though. Obviously, it's a little more fun that way, and we do have the updated draft order, so no worries there. As the Titans starting off, likely going Cam Ward, but you never know. Biggest need is obviously quarterback. Do have other needs, right? You could use a wide receiver for sure. Multiple wide receivers, really. Could definitely use an edge rusher. Some defensive picks they can make as well. Maybe Abdul Carter's the guy. They don't believe in Cam Ward, but it's pretty, I would say, secure that Cam Ward's going to be going number 1 overall. Number 2 overall, there's been some rumblings that it's not going to be Shedeur Sanders. What could they do instead of that? I mean, they could use wide receiver. Necessarily edge isn't the number 1 need, but Abdul Carter is an enticing piece. Maybe Travis Hunter. You just get a guy that you're like, hey, we just want a good football player. You got an option at wide receiver corner. See what you want to do with him. We'll see what they do here. They go Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty 2 overall. It could happen. He's a very good running back. I wouldn't bet on it happening. I don't know if it has the highest odds of happening, but it very well could happen. If you're thinking about, hey, we just got to get good football players on this team. We need playmakers. That team is lacking in the skill position department desperately. They need wide receiver. They need quarterback. They need running back. They don't really need tight end, but they need a lot. They need a lot on that offensive side of the ball. They're just not feeling the QB room. Maybe they go with maybe a Milrow in round 2. Who knows? Number 3, though, the Giants have Shedeur Sanders sitting in their laps. By far the Giants' biggest need for the last half to... I mean, when did Eli retire? Like, when did Eli get bad and then retire? Because that's really the biggest thing they've had a year in and year out for needs. They built some okay rosters over the years, just not really much going on at quarterback, and it's just held them back. They go Abdul Carter, though, which that is just the biggest head-scratcher. Jeanty, I can kind of see. Abdul Carter, I don't know. I think Travis Hunter makes a little bit more sense for them there. Abdul Carter, edge, it's not bad. Thibodeau's solid. Obviously, Brian Burns is solid. Not sure if you're... I mean, you're obviously going best available pick there, but I'm not really sure what you even do with him there. Number 4 overall, the Patriots. Been seeing Will Campbell a lot in this slot. Travis Hunter would be a very hard pass, so I think it's going to be Travis Hunter. And no, I am wrong. It is going to be Will Campbell. Never hurts to upgrade your offensive line, but yeah, another team that could use some skill positions for sure. Wide receiver, is it a little too high for some of the guys in this class? I don't think so. I think 4 overall, I mean, it's high, don't get me wrong. Maybe you want to trade down to the 7 spot or 8 spot because the Jets are like, hey, we'll take a chance on Sanders. I don't know, but yeah, Will Campbell, it's a safe pick. It's a good pick. Jalen Walker, edge. Once again, Trayvon Walker is not a bad player. I think it's another edge pick that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Jaguars could still use another wide receiver for sure. O-line definitely could use some work. Defensive tackle is a bigger positional need. Yeah, I mean, Mason Graham's sitting there. Maybe you don't love him. Walter Nolan, even at 5, perhaps. I don't see the edge pick there, though. The Raiders got a lot of options. There's another team that has so many holes on that team. Wide receiver, really high up there. Obviously, quarterback wouldn't hurt. You know, Geno, he's a couple of year kind of guy. Running back's gone, so if you wanted to go Jeanty, you know, I could see Jeanty. I think 6 is probably the earliest, realistically, that he'll be going. But you never know. I mean, team could fall in love with him and be like, hey, we've seen some of these running backs really work out for some teams, especially lately. But 6 overall with Travis Hunter there. I think that's Travis Hunter, and it is. Travis Hunter, number 6 overall. Jets would have probably loved to have him, but Jets at 7. Quarterback, obviously still a need. Shedeur Sanders still sitting there at 7. Wide receiver, I mean, is kind of a need, right? I mean, Allen Lazard's better than people give him credit for sure, and obviously Garrett Wilson's Garrett Wilson, but definitely could use a wide receiver. Tight end, even. Could this be Tyler Warren? It's not. It is Matthew Golden. It is wide receiver. You know, you could always use D lineman. Jermaine Johnson, you assume, is going to come back healthy and play well again, but you never know. Defensive tackle wouldn't be the worst move in the world, especially, once again, Mason Graham sitting there. 8 overall, Panthers, they still need weapons. I mean, they're just still needing weapons. O-line always could use some help. Edge, why not? See what they do. They go Will Johnson. Corner, definitely a problem there too, so I get it. Saints at 9. that is a team. Another quarterback team, I heard some reports that they don't want Shedeur Sanders. Maybe that's smoke and mirrors. They're like, we don't want him. All these teams don't want him. We want him. But 9 overall, this could be Sanders. And it is. Shedeur Sanders, 9 overall. Quarterback is arguably their biggest need. I mean, it's hard to say when teams have bad QBs starting that it's not their biggest need because it's the most important position, right? But, yeah, I mean, they got some other good players, but edge wouldn't hurt either. The Bears at 10. Could this be Hampton? I mean, he's been flying up the board, and the Bears do need running back. I would say tackle makes more sense. Maybe Kelvin Banks, 10th overall. And it's going to be Michael Williams. Edge does not surprise me here either. So good pick there. The Niners at 11. Wide receiver wouldn't hurt. I don't know if it's their biggest need. O-line, they got a lot of needs on that offensive line. So O-line, maybe corner. And it's going to be Shamar Stewart. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's a good pick. It's not a bad pick at all. 12, been seeing Genty go here a lot, but obviously that's gone. Wide receiver at this point, if you're not going to go Hampton, I think makes the most sense. And they do. They go like Buka. Great draft pick. Dolphins, a lot of implosion on the inside there of that franchise. You got a lot of guys that are aging out, if you will. You know, Tyreek's about to be gone, and Jalen Ramsey's about to be gone, and, you know, Tua's one hit away from being gone from this earth. Okay, I'm sorry, that was too deep, too dark. Hopefully he stays healthy, dude. I mean, as a Packers fan, I seen Rodgers take like 5 freaking concussions in 1 year, and I think that was the Super Bowl year. That's scary stuff, dude. That's crazy work. But yeah, I mean, wide receiver wouldn't hurt, I guess. Maybe jump the gun a little bit for Tyreek, and O-line, perhaps. Miami. I mean, there's a lot of needs on this Miami team. I mean, is there really like a need higher than the next? O-line, I guess. So, I mean, Kelvin Banks, maybe Membu. It's going to be Mason Graham. DT definitely could use some work too, so it makes sense. Been seeing Tyler Warren here a lot. The Colts use more than just tight end. Tight ends, you know, it's an important position, sure, but it's not something you absolutely need. But if you're going to say what their biggest need is outside of quarterbacks, we don't know what's going to happen with Richardson. Is he going to play well? I guess tight end makes sense. And yeah, Tyler Warren's been going there a lot in these sims. And you can see this is the most different. If you've been watching our rebuilds, this has been the most different we've seen the first round look so far. And yeah, it's Tyler Warren still at 14. Doesn't matter. Falcons, I mean, it's been the same biggest need for the last decade. Edge. They're going to take edge, and they're going to take Luther Burden. It's a great wide receiver. You know, some people's number one in the entire board and the entire class. So great pick there. Arizona Cardinals, a lot of needs. Wide receivers, once again, also up there. O-line wouldn't hurt. Edge for sure. Corner, I think they're actually a little bit better off than most of their other position groups. But edge, wide receiver, probably the top 2. O-line, why not? They go Walter Nolan. That's another big need. DT's another big need. It's a great value. I've been seeing him go a lot in this one as well with them. Bengals, especially with Hendrickson, you know, the question marks there. What's going to go long term? Are we have another T. Higgins situation? Edge, even with Hendrickson, would not hurt. Definitely could use an edge rusher. O-line as well, as they're going to go wide receiver McMillan. They literally just re-signed Higgins, and they get another catch radius guy. Don't know if I love that. So far, you know, we're only a little bit in. Maybe I'll wait till the end of this thing to say what I hate and what I love. But yeah, don't love that one. Seattle Seahawks, this one's pretty straightforward. I mean, edge is still a need. They've had really edge issues since probably Michael Bennett, honestly. But, well, I guess Michael Bennett was kind of moving all over that line, huh? But mainly an edge, right? Mainly. But, yeah, offensive line, still the biggest need. You know, that's the thing with Sam Darnold. I just don't see it. I don't see Sam Darnold playing as well as he did with the Vikings. That offensive line, those weapons, they definitely masked a lot. Sam Darnold held that ball long. He's not going to be able to do that in Seattle. They got to bolster up that O-line. This is an offensive lineman for sure. And Kelvin Banks is that guy. Like the pick. Membu would have worked out too. We now have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who, I mean, they can definitely use linebacker. Levante David, that age, it's a problem. But I also would not hate upgrading that left guard position. The value is there with Membu, so we'll see if that's the route they go. Okay, I like the pick too. Cornerback, Barron, not bad. Definitely an upgrade position. I mean, those are the top 3, I'd say. Linebacker, all-ball linebacker, corner. You know, a guard wouldn't hurt. The Bronchies, all right, a team that obviously, especially on defense, exceeded expectations. You know, surprised me, honestly, with how they played. I think running back's up there. Hampton's a pretty good spot here at 20. That's what I would do. I'd take running back. Instead, they go edge, Jack Sawyer. I don't know. 21 Steelers, do you reach for Dart, as obviously the top 2 quarterbacks are gone. Probably get that out of everyone's face there. Quarterback is by far the biggest need for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Depth at running back wouldn't hurt either. They like their committee. And obviously Najee's now with the Chargers, who are coming up here in this draft pick. I think, quarterback, but are you reaching on Dart? Probably not. Corner wouldn't hurt. DT, especially with Hayward getting older, wouldn't hurt. And yeah, they do go Derek Harmon, good pick. Now, pick 22, my favorite team, the Green Bay Packers. Did McMillan go? He did at 17, that's right, the Bengals. If McMillan was there, even though I worry about that tape stuff, is he truly, a lot of people do stuff for a paycheck, right? I'm on the corner every day. And they don't absolutely love it, but if you're really good at it, you can still improve your craft. But that's kind of was like, okay, well, how do you improve your craft without watching a little bit of film? It's worrisome, but it's kind of irrelevant here. It's 22. Green Bay doesn't have that spot. Corner's a big need, but honestly, if they don't make a trade for a proven edge rusher, I think you got to go back into there and, get a new edge rusher. Rashawn Gary regressed as a pass rusher, but that is obviously schematically a problem because, he was one of the best run defenders in the league. It's more stancing to stop the run rather than going full-on edge rush. Lucas Van Ness was not great. He was not great. He had some moments, but not great. I would love to see edge here. Who even have at edge? Still. Corner as well. Membu, but Packers O-line is actually pretty good. They're going to be shifting it up, it seems, a little bit, but it should still be fine. Edge, Mike Green, I think that's the pick. I think Mike Green's the pick here if you're the Green Bay Packers. If not, wide receiver, but who's there? Do you take Higgins, maybe? I think the Packers need a big frame guy. You go Maxwell Harrison, that's not a bad pick. That's actually a guy that's been comped to them quite often, so makes a lot of sense to me. If it makes a lot of sense to you, we now have the Chargers, who could definitely work on the interior of their defensive line. Another wide receiver wouldn't hurt, but I think they've got that kind of covered, right? I think McConkey had a great year, and Palmer's not a bad player, but wouldn't hurt to see them. Maybe even Loveland at tight end, perhaps, but probably defensive tackle as they go the pass rush. I mean, that's fair enough, right? The edge is not getting any younger. Now you have the Minnesota Vikings, who are going to bet it all. They're going to bet it all on Mr. McCarthy, the youngster. Safety, especially with Harrison Smith, right at the end of his career, one of the bigger needs of this team. Linemen, it's weird because they don't have the best line individually, but they're a great unit. So, I guess a lineman. You know what? I actually think, it wouldn't even be out of left field, but I think this is where Omarion Hampton would, make a lot of sense. Aaron Jones isn't your, 25, 30 carries a game guy, and he's usually going to miss a couple of games every year. Why not go Hampton? Why not just get ourselves a really good running back? Instead, they go tackle, which, assuming Darisaw, I was thinking of Slater for the Chargers for some reason. Darisaw is back and healthy. I don't understand that pick at all. Texans, obviously they just need pretty much everything on the offensive line. Them not going with Membu here would make no sense. I don't know why. And they go with edge. That's not a problem on their team at all. That's one of the least problems they have. Even a slot wide receiver would make more sense than that pick. But offensive line is hands down their biggest need. No questions. There's just no questions about it. It is what they're going to take in the first round unless somebody that, falls. Let's say Tyler Warren falls at 25 or something. Maybe they're like, hey, why not? But 26, got the Rams. Linebacker wouldn't hurt. Another team that could use a couple offensive linemen. Wide receiver, I suppose, but I assume Devontae Adams is going to be fine, and obviously Nakua is Nakua. But, if you want to get real crazy with that trio, maybe. But, this is a pretty good team. It's a sleeper team, dude. I think the Rams are definitely a super sleeper team. Maybe bolster up the O-line a little bit more. Linebacker wouldn't hurt. Safety wouldn't hurt. They end up going cornerback, which, actually that's a pretty big positional need too, I suppose. The Ravens, there's not a lot of needs for this Ravens team. What the hell do you even... I'm trying to think here. What do the Ravens truly need? More O-line, I guess. Running back, maybe, because I would assume sooner or later Derrick Henry's going to show that he's human. It hasn't happened yet, but sooner or later. But they end up going Membu. That's just a Ravens move, dude. The Ravens land a top 5, top 10 player at 27. Just that, it's Madden, to be fair. It's not going to happen in real life. But yeah, the Lions, edge rusher wouldn't hurt. Mike Green, that's who we took in our Lions rebuild. And nope, they take tackle, which, again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Edge is right up there with the biggest needs, if not the very biggest need. Commanders, they did really well with hiding their holes. That's Sounds sus. Another edge rusher team, probably. Finally, Mike Green goes. The Bills could definitely use a wide receiver, cornerback also. So wide receiver, corner, who do you take? A tackle. Again, I don't see it. I really don't see it. The Chiefs, lineman. Always lineman. They go pass rusher. I can kind of see it. The Eagles, O-line depth wouldn't hurt, but they seem to be able to build any offensive lineman into a star. D-line, I suppose. Defensive tackle wouldn't hurt. Edge, I suppose. Rotational edge wouldn't hurt either. Safety, perhaps. But what are they going to do with it? We will find out on the top right, not the bottom. It is Nicky Manwari. Great value. That's another Eagles pick. Just like we had the Ravens with their pick, that's an Eagles pick. Oh my God, it's just perfect. But we're going to sim the end of the draft, and yeah, we'll see where some of these other guys go. Curious to at least see where Milroe and Dart go. Everyone else, so be it. Who cares? Yeah, it's not who cares. We're going to show you all the drafts. I'm not going to go in depth. I'm just going to kind of go one by one. But I am curious to see where the quarterbacks specifically go, which we see them go right away. Dart at 2 to the Browns. So yeah, that's not a bad move if that actually happens. But I think somebody's going to reach late first, even if you want to call it a reach. Late first for Dart. Ewers of the Giants. And then where the hell is Milroe? There he is. Milroe to the Cardinals. Okay. I guess. Let's go one by one each team. Hampton to the Bears in the second round is a great pick. I said I wasn't going to go into it, but I am. Damn it. Henderson, Stutzman. I like it. I like it. Cornerback for the Bills makes sense. I don't know what that first round pick. I just don't like that, though. Sawyer, Shamar Turner in the second round. Fair enough. Tackle, sure. Running back, and then, yeah, Dart, really good pick. Mason Taylor, I don't really think Cleveland has tight end needs that much, but sure. Go hard on the O-line. I like it. Pass rush, sure. Swinson. Tight end, maybe. Milroe to the Cardinals, that's a little bit of a head scratcher. Carter, great pick. Guard, yeah. Running back, yeah. O-line, yeah. Corner for the Chiefs, yeah, sure. Running back, maybe. Colts, don't love that move. Really? Safety, I don't love that move either. Commanders did really only have that many picks. I know the Tunsil trade or whatever. Wide receiver, sure. The Cowboys, I'm always going to go lineman. Oh, my Lord. Scatabo to the Cowboys. That is a wild one. Of course, the Dolphins, yeah, we need a cornerback. Quarterback, sure. Quarterback in the fourth makes sense. O-line, tight end. I mean, it's just the Eagles taking their best available picks every round, it seems. Corner to the Falcons, maybe. Safety, yeah. Tight end, A lot of D linemen here for the Niners, sure. Big problem for them, I suppose. But O-line, they got to address that as well. DT for the Giants, I guess. Not really. Running back, yeah, makes sense. O-line, Jags, I like that. Starks, I like this draft. This is the kind of draft that I'd be pulling off. This is a really good draft for the Jaguars. Jets, tight end, yeah, makes sense. Loveland in the second round with Golden in the first. That's a really good draft. Just Farmer, sure. Why not? Maybe we'll go with one quarterback just to throw our freaking name in the hat, throw some darts at the board. The Lions, DT, not really the best fit, but sure. Tackles, I don't get that, though. I don't know. Packers, DT, yeah. Edge, yeah. Okay. I like it. I think you throw a wide receiver in there, but that's fine. Panthers, and then with Johnson, Birch, Parrish, McLaughlin. I'd really like to see a wide receiver in there for them. The Patriots, O-line, DT, tight end, running back, fair enough. Edge for the Raiders, okay. Travis Hunter, obviously good pick. Safety going real hard on the defense. Could use some O-linemen, could use some weapons, but it's not a bad pick. Quarterback in the third, fair enough. O-line, tackle, yeah. I mean, the right tackle position for the Ravens, maybe. Tight end, no, no, not at all. Left guard, I mean, who doesn't need more linemen, I suppose. Gelati, very good pick for the Saints. Then we have the Seahawks, O-line heavy, love it. Don't know if I love tackles specifically, but I love O-line heavy for the Seahawks. Safety, I guess. Pass rush for the Steelers, no. they have like 3 really good edge rushers. Don't really need that. DT, though, with Harmon makes a lot of sense. Where's the QB? Nowhere to be found. Maybe a shifty wide receiver wouldn't hurt. Another running back, like I said. Running back, Texans, yeah, sure. Tackle, I mean, you got to go harder on that O-line, I think. Looking at the Titans themselves, Pierce, love that. Love that pick, actually. And then the Vikings, a little bit more O-linemen. Would have loved to see Hampton there. Maybe a trade down to add some more depth to the draft. But yeah, fair enough. For the most part, like about 80% realistic, but in real life, we always see those head scratchers too and the best available pick stuff, so you just never know. All right, Tennessee Titans at 7-10, finishing out, better than, I don't even know if I would say better than you'd expect from them, but they are a roster that has a lot of needs. So 7-10, I think, is a fair record, and I don't think it's unexpected at all. Looking at the AFC itself, though, Chargers, you would expect to do a little bit better. Broncos, after last year, definitely expect to do better. Houston, even with that O-line, definitely better. Colts, I guess. I mean, they find a way. Jaguars, yeah, they're up and down. Who knows? Patriots, yeah, I expect them to be pretty bad. Jets, 9-8, that would be a massive season for them. Bengals at 10-7, that seems to be a trend for them. Who is the 2 seed? No, Ravens right there. Yeah, pretty realistic, at least from what I would assume. But let's take a look at the actual standings of the NFC now. We already looked at the AFC, so no point in looking at the whole thing. Packers, the number 1 seed. I don't know if I see that. I would love to see it. I just don't know. I think the Packers are one of those teams that are slipping in between, the top 5, top 10 teams in the NFC. But the Buccaneers up there, Lions, Niners, Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders. Okay, I get it, because you never know with the Vikings, McCarthy. It's just, you don't know. But fair enough. For the most part, realistic. Maybe not the exact seeding, but for the teams you'd expect to see in the playoffs for the most part, like I said, it's pretty realistic feeling. But let's take a look at the league. See how the league looks. Not just the rookies, because I don't even know how many rookies started, but the league. Wait, was that Levis starting, by the way? Well, that sucks. I'm going to have to sim that one again separately. You'll probably see that inserted at some point here. Anyone else start, though? None of the... Shedeur Sanders started, though, so what the hell are we doing? We do a lot of quarterbacks in here, so a lot of different quarterbacks did start at one point or another, but Jackson Dart did start 11-6, touching a pick ratio-wise, better completion percentage. Looks like the better quarterback than Deshaun Watson here. Jake Brown, anyways, getting the start, or starting for an injury, perhaps. Joshua Dobbs. We literally have Russell Wilson and Winston on that team, by the way. Of course, Rodgers starting for the Rams. Just I don't know why that always happens, but it does. Give him another season, and yeah, I don't know. Stafford just regresses too hard, I think. Cam Ward's numbers were really not that special anyways. Oh, what a waste. Running backs. What do we got? I mean, Genti had to start, right? You don't draft him 2 overall and not start him. There he goes. 907 yards, 4 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. Hampton for the Bears, 808 yards, 4 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. Pretty good, actually. Fields, 600 yards for the Jets on the ground. Then we look at receivers. Devontae Adams, best wide receiver in the league. That would be a hell of a move. Really wish Green Bay would have found a way to get him back, but they didn't, and I'm sad. Treylon Burks, that'd be a huge year for the Titans. Ekbuka for the Cowboys. Like I said, running back, wide receiver, those are the top 2. They go wide receiver. It works out tremendously, at least for that first season. Who knows how it goes down the line. And any other youngsters? Theo Johnson with a lot of yards there. Should see some other rookie wide receivers in here. McMillan? No? I mean, he's probably number 3. Loveland, Jets, 857, 7 touchdowns. Really good year. Burden, 830 with 10 touchdowns for the Falcons. Golden, 818 with 0 touchdowns. A little bit of a disappointing season for sure. What about Tyler Warren? I mean, it is schemes, you got to remember, so you're going to see some stuff. But that's a great year. 742, 9 touchdowns, a great year. Pick 14, not bad at all. And, I mean, you might see some other guys are going to be kind of backup numbers. And if that, I mean, we're down to 500s. I haven't seen another guy. Oh, well. As far as O-line goes, you're not really going to be able to tell how good a lineman is. Even if they give up a lot of sacks, it might just be, wow, okay, 22. I'll tell you what. I don't know how good of a lineman they are, but Will Campbell was a bad lineman. 22 sacks. That'd be like one of the worst busts of all time if that was the season he had. Even if he turned it around, that's crazy. Sack totals, any of the youngsters? Von Miller, please. Any of the rookies? A couple of Rams guys in there. Not seeing them. They might not even have started, to be fair. There's a lot of teams that took edge rushers that just didn't need them. And I just don't see anyone. Mason Graham at 4. I see nothing going on for the edge. Wow, just terrible, I guess. The edge was awful in this one. They're just not even there. Okay, Deron Bland, 10 interceptions, though. Jack Campbell thought it was the other Campbell. I think he went to the Saints. And that's really it. So pretty weak, if I got to say so myself. Pretty weak rookie class based on those numbers. Didn't actually see Cam Ward myself. You guys would have seen it because I'll have that sim in there. But even with him, even if I had like a greatest season of all time, it doesn't really matter. AFC side, let's see. Ashton Genty wins Offensive Player of the Year. Mason Graham at number 1 for defense, which they had Morrison right there as well. Pretty impressive, actually. They actually had themselves a great draft. Then the NFC side, you had Egbuka and Will Johnson. Pretty cool stuff. Let's take a look now. The season ending. Let's take a look at the Super Bowl. As, of course, Texans Titans aren't going to be in it. You have the Lions and Ravens. I can get behind that Super Bowl even as a Packers fan. I'd be rooting for the Ravens, though. And the winner is the Ravens, 31-26. We'll actually take a look at how the... Okay, they're not going to let me see that. See how the playoff picture actually finished out, which, once again, can I not? Is it under schedule, maybe? There it is, playoff picture. In the first round, Ravens-Jets. Ravens obviously win. Bills beat the Raiders. Bengals beat the Colts. Commanders beat the Buccaneers, Lions beat the Niners, and the Eagles beat the Cowboys. Then, NFC side, Packers beat the Commanders, Lions beat the Eagles, the Bills lose to the Ravens, and the Chiefs beat the Bengals. Then, in the championship round, the Packers lose to the Lions by 10, Ravens win by 6, and then in the Super Bowl, of course, 31-26, Ravens over the Lions. I mean, I could see it. Pretty realistic outcome. Didn't really see a whole lot from the rookies, though. I mean, edge rushers, it's very rare that you see them just hit the ground running. They put up crazy sack numbers. It's more about the pressures anyways. And some of them are rotational guys as they kind of learn a little bit. Even when you're really high, we've seen some guys go in the top 5, top 10 that are not automatic day 1 starters. They're rotationals. But, yeah, that was pretty much it for this quote-unquote Madden mock draft. Pretty good picks for the most part. Some a little unrealistic. Browns going super high for Genty maybe doesn't make sense. Some of these edge rush teams that didn't really need edge rushers. They had 2 good edge rushers, and they had plenty of other needs. Guys like Membu dropping all the way to 27. Maybe not realistic, but some other real great ones I loved. E-Man Ward to the Eagles at 32. Oh, just perfect. It's really just perfect. Either way, though, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate your continued support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. Like I said, I kind of wanted to start up GTA 4. Bought a copy on eBay, but it's going to take a little while to get here. Thought I had a copy. I mean, I have a copy somewhere. I just don't know where the hell I put it. And they want $20 for it on the store, which is like, why would I pay $20 for a digital when I could literally get a physical copy for $9? That's what I got for $9, shipping, all that included. I think it was $9.53 with tax. And I even get the map. Get the map. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. And of course, gonna have Patriots franchise later today. The finale. I don't know why I said it like that, but the end of Patriots franchise. We're gonna have the whole playoffs, whether it's the wild card round, win that game, win the divisional round, you win that game, you get to the Super Bowl, or no, divisional through the Super Bowl, that's the one. Or we lose right out the gate. Whatever it is, you're gonna see it tonight if you're looking for it. And then tomorrow we'll probably have some sort of draft-related rebuild. A lot of content coming, of course, updated rebuilds when the actual draft is on and finished. And yeah, enough yap. Time to lay down. That's not true. Anyways, hope you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya. And again, shout out to all the members of the channel as usual. Appreciate you guys a ton. Really do. It helps support the channel a ton. And of course, if you're out there thinking about becoming a member, click the join button next to the subscribe button. All the details will be in there. We, of course, have that monthly members rebuild every 15th of the month. Check it out. We had one recently enough. Regardless, remember, I appreciate y'all for watching, and see ya.